Hey, greetings. Got a mystery box from eBay. Let's see what's inside. Well, I guess maybe it's not a mystery. It must be a Bissell. What would I be doing with a Bissell vacuum? I don't deal in disposable crap usually. The lack of packing material is disconcerting. Plastic bags are not packing material. Now the other weird thing is this had 1 day shipping on the label, which means they paid for 1 day shipping even though I bought it like 2 weeks ago. Somebody goofed. Oh boy. This better not be broken because it's not replaceable. Oh. Alright, well that looks to be alright. Haha. Oh yes, an Electrolux Olympia special with a quart winder. Alright, let's see what kind of condition my Olympia special's in. Again, this is my childhood vac. It's kind of cool to see. Oh, there's no bag in there. Pretty much what I remember is that thing being nasty. I guess I'm going to start taking it apart and washing it as well. I was kind of not wanting to do that with this, but judging by just the gasket alone, I mean, this is not wanting to even come off with Windex. That's nasty. I don't know how much you guys can see in there, but it's relatively nasty. It's kind of what I remember. I remember it always had like this smell to it. Now, this, oh, yeah, there's a lot of dust in there. All right, so it's going to have to come apart. So now I need to take apart the unattainable vacuums, which I don't like to do. This is probably rarer than the Viking I took apart because of the cord rewind. So that's the, well, I guess we're going to get to it. I guess I want to just make sure it runs first. I've got a hose on the way too. This was kind of an a la carte thing, but cord rewind is as horrible as I remember. Though I do remember that this, that switch is nice. All right. So real quick, I'm going to throw a sea bag in here. It's a Tepa bag. Hopefully it's not too dirty, but that's what I have laying around. And we're gonna have to exhaust it into the central vac because this guy's gonna puff some smoke. I know it's kind of weird for me to say that already, but I just know this machine well enough that that's what it's gonna do. Now, it sounded like crap when I turned it on. That's the sad thing, is the motor bearings sound bad. And that's kind of, you could basically use these until that happened. It doesn't have that sweet Electrolux wind down. But the body is in decent condition. It really is. There's not a lot of nicks or dings on it. Perhaps no dings, only some like paint scrapes. Anyways. This caster, everything is just how I remember it. Horrendous and good at the same time. There's a lot of pluses to this machine. There are a lot of negatives. Well, here goes nothing. Not something I really, like I said, planned on doing. Oh, before we get too deep into it, I want to pull the sea bag out and set it aside. So that should just come off and we can wash that. And you can just see the grossness of the dust that these things would felch out. I mean, this is the type of dust that came out of these machines are why some people have an aversion to bagged vacuums. It just was unnecessarily bad, even at the time, like, yeah, I remember the switch. And with the regular ones, it would be up here. So they were just kind of tricky. All right. Well, I'm going to pull the front off last. We're going to go, the cord rewind should just be these 2 large screws, and it should just pop right off. Again, the cord rewind was an option. You could get this with or without a cord rewind. Nice machine screws. And yeah, there's the cord rewind. It's kind of foochy. We'll deal with it in a minute. Yeah, and you can see that the machine was made with a nice backplate. So you didn't necessarily need the cord rewind. Now, here's where my memory... there's one screw under here. You can see how short this one was. It was much shorter than the regular Electrolux. I don't know if it had the same suction motor. I'll know that once I get it apart. This is so dirty that I'm just going to wipe it down real quick with some Windex. It is just absolutely filthy. And again, this is just dirt that it felched out of the back of it, because this is, you know, there were 1-layer bags and 2-layer bags and 4-layer bags. Very few people use the 4-layer bags. So you can see just from wiping that off how nasty that was. So we're just going to pry a little bit in here and see. I seem to remember this just kind of popping off, but I've been wrong before. Yeah, you know what's going to happen. See if that vibration, yep, it's coming loose. It's like maybe glued in almost. There's either glue or an animal peed on it. I'm not sure. That's why I exhausted it into the central vacuum. Oh. Yep, you can just see. I'm prying with the plastic tool, trying not to mar this up. I don't want to mar anything up. I don't want to break anything. I was kind of hoping I could have just blown this out. I wasn't sure what condition this was going to be in. I really wasn't. It's so dirty. I need to get in here. That's the worst thing. This is not one you can just leave alone. Also, that motor needs some lubrication. Oh. All right. Well, I'm doing it wrong. That's probably glued on there. That's why it seemed glued on there. It was glued on there. And there's the plate. Awesome. And this has... There we go. And that... the switch just comes off. And now, save the insulation. And there, that comes. All right. Now, you can see the glorious Electrolux motor. That is the same one they used on everything else. All right, it's got some 10 mils holding it in place. They're very long. This is acting like a giant heat sink. Yeah, you can see some of the glue burning off. Oh, hot, hot, hot. We'll be right back. All right, after some poking and prodding, I got it off. It's actually clipped in with little metal bits, and you can see there was some sort of adhesive on there as well. So that's lovely. I got this guy off. This is the thing I really wanted to take apart because it's nasty. So happy about that. Once again, a heat gun is like the necessary tool on your bench for doing this sort of stuff. Now, everything should just pop off. There's like, this motor should just pop out of here, straight up. Oh, and you'll see the motor is connected right here. Yep. The rubber grommet needs to come. I might need, a little rubber grommet. I wanted to wash that and try to restore that anyways. Oh, man. Oh, there we go. Little rubber grommet. And the motor. You can see it is a decent sized motor. Very Electrolux. Oh, there's not too much rust on this one. Excellent. Oh, it's hard to turn. Yeah, that needs to be taken apart and lubricated. And you can see this one still has. This is the sound insulation, along with the, that was what you got for a pre-motor filter. That. All right, now the machine's very light. I mean, this steel body weighs maybe a whole pound now, or less. Oh, look at that crack. Oh, I didn't even notice that. I was so excited. Uh-oh. I wonder if that's from shipping. I now have to go look at the eBay pictures. I've definitely been careful with it on my bench as I put the hammers back. Huh. You know what? All right. Let's take this off. And I will, that I'm not really too worried. I can fill that in with epoxy, and that will be fine. But that I actually suspect is lack of shipping. That crack. Well, I'll wash that and then I can put some epoxy. That's actually only cosmetic, but still not what I wanted. So once you do that, now you can take the door off and get the plastic part out. So we got the door and the plastic guy. With the tab, and now you can wash that. That needs to be washed along with the whole inside of this. I'm not really sure about taking the rest of this off. Are there quick disconnects here? Oh, so there are. And like any typical Electrolux, the most complicated part is the door. Excuse me while I cheat and take a picture. Of what was there. So what's going on here is interesting in a lot of ways. You know what, let's just disassemble this. Oh. This is going to turn into like a hour-long video, and I'm sorry about that, folks, but these machines just need more attention than modern machine, especially when one's been neglected for so long. So just I want to state that I don't actually believe this machine to be super high quality, looking at a lot of these manufacturing techniques and stuff. I know the Olympia Special was a budget model, but they used the similar things on the Olympia and stuff. Yeah. We can... Those are the... Actually, that's pretty obvious when I look at it now. I think those are the switch. So we got all that. Nice. Well, all that's going to get basically washed. There's one other part we're going to take off before we wash anything, and that's this wheel. It does not need to be washed. That just needs to be taken apart and greased. Alright, I'm not going to show the motor rebuild because people don't generally watch those when I've done them in the past. But here's what the fan baffle looks like disassembled. You have your intake, your first fan, your second baffle, your fan, and a third baffle with a bearing in it. And then you have this aluminum washer. The problem with this is I was going to put, let's see if it will focus. Yeah, you can see the rust in that. That ain't particularly great. I don't know if I'm going to drill that out or not. And you can just see the fooch in the motor. Well, thanks for watching part 1 of this restore series. Make sure you hit that bell notification so you see my latest videos and you're notified when part 2 comes out if you're watching this in the future. I'll put part 2 in the end card here. Enjoy and have a great day.